Hello and welcome to Ready Set Demo from Elizabeth's Craft Room. Today I am popping in to talk to you about launch parties, particularly in-person launch parties. Now, I've done some videos about launching online because that's what I've done for the last 2 years, but this year, yay, we were back in person and it was wonderful. But I was also a successful launch, and I wanted to talk to you if you don't know how to do a launch, or it's been a while since you've done an in-person launch, and you are thinking, well, maybe I can't do this, and to encourage you to try and do a launch party of some description. And I will go through some ideas, and I have 5 ideas I'm just looking to see if I've got ink on my fingers, but if I have, you know why. I'm going to do 5 ideas to make your launch event successful, whether it's small or whether it's large. Okay, so let's start off with idea number 1, gathering. This is about being in person with people. So what that means is getting together and seeing each other. I have restarted my classes back in August, but this was the first time that all the people from different classes all got together in one location, and it was absolutely wonderful. Some were still wearing masks, some not so much, but what it meant was that we got to spend time together, and of everything to do with launch, that community feeling and feeling that we were back together again was my top priority, and by making that your top priority, you are thinking about finding a way to get your customers to have a good time together, to see their old friends, and to gather, and so a gathering of some sort is the best way. Does this have to be a huge party like mine was? No, you can gather around your kitchen table and have a look at a couple of cards. It doesn't need to be a big deal, but it does need to be getting people together, talking about our new catalogue, talking about the fantastic crafty projects that we can make. And if you're thinking, well, it's okay for Liz, she's got loads of crafty friends. Look at all those crafty friends she's got. Nope. When I first started as a Stampin' Up demonstrator, I didn't know a single person that did crafting apart from my upline at the time. Not one. So we can find customers, and in fact I've got a whole other video on finding customers. If you are not subscribed to my newsletter, do so down below, and you can go and find Ready Set Demo, where I've got all sorts of different videos to help you. And yes, you absolutely can find new customers. Okay, number 2. So this is share what you love, from the Stampin' Up statement of the heart. When we share the things that we absolutely love in our new catalogue, like this beautiful stamp set, how fabulous is that bottle one? When we share what we love, it is easy to produce the enthusiasm because we already have it. Not many of us can sell something we don't really like. And if you absolutely love it, you don't even need to sell it. It sells itself. You just explain why it's so fabulous. One of the things I do, it says reaching across, is to make sure I have plenty of samples to show the versatility of a stamp set. So I have do we have round the world 10 green bottles? Is that just a UK thing? I don't know. That nursery rhyme is just a UK thing. I had to have my 10 green bottles. I've got a little stamp here. You show how you're going to use stamps in lots of different ways, because the more versatile a stamp is, the better value for money it is for a customer. So show some versatility with some samples. Give your customers some tips. So for example, show them how the wisteria cards can be turned into lupins, or even Christmas trees, all sorts of things that we can do. So give them some tips to make them see, again, different ways that they can use the new goodies. Help them save. Show them the new bundles. Now, I do a catalogue tour which takes them through the different goodies that I have used during my launch. It'll be a little bit different if you're sitting at a kitchen table, but it doesn't stop you turning to something and talking about it. So remind them how to find the bundles in the catalogue. Show them that they will receive a discount of 10%, because you don't want them to buy the stamps this month and then decide they want the punch to go with it next month and spend more. You want to give them the service of understanding that they can get a discount. So show them how to save, especially the ink bundles for the new ink pads, because one of the great things is getting 10% off if you love all the new ink colours. And if you're wondering, this is a class coming soon to you. So yes, you can use show all the new ink colours, and if people love them all, and I'm glad to say lots of my ladies did love them all, they can save 10% by buying all of the new ink pads together. So again, help them to do that. Help to make sure that they know how to get best value for money. For your newbies, this is number 3. So if you have new customers or recent stampers, it is definitely worth showing one or more of our kits. This enables them to be able to craft at home between classes. So if you're running a class and they only get to craft once a month, that's sad. And it also means they haven't got very much to stamp with, even if they buy a stamp set. So by introducing them through kits, it gets some blocks in their hands, some adhesives, some stamps, and some materials to start crafting at home. And then they can add to that. So if they then buy some stamps, they don't need to immediately buy a block as well. They can instead spend that money on a lovely ink pad in one of our lovely new colours. So kits are a really good way to introduce our new stampers to stamping at home. You could also, for example, do a demonstration of something that they may not have seen. How to mount up a rubber stamp, how to put all the stickers onto one of our ink pads. By doing these little demonstrations and adding tips, as we discussed in the Share What You Love for your existing customers, we are adding value to us as demonstrators. Why people choose to come to our events and buy the goodies from us rather than just going to a store is that they get to see how to use them. They get to learn from us as the experts. There's always something for us to learn ourselves, but that's what we are doing. We are building loyalty to our brand, not our brand Stampin' Up, but our brand Elizabeth's Craft Room, or whatever your business name is. So that is the key to when you are holding an in-person event is sharing your knowledge with customers and listening to their questions. Thing number 4, hands-on. There is nothing like it. We really cannot do this in the same way online. They can come and use your stamps and use your ink pads and use your punches and actually play with the new goodies. My lovely customers came along and made 2 make and takes at my launch party. So they rotated around. We had 2 make and take tables set up with all the goodies that they needed on each. I just did a little sort of chat at the beginning with a couple of tips, and I'd actually typed out what they needed to do. If you don't have as many people as me, it's even easier because you can actually teach it step by step. For me, I'd had to type out in advance because there was lots going on and people were rotating around, looking at things, chatting to each other and having fun together, going and doing their make and take, placing their orders and so on. So yeah, try before you buy. It's one of the best things about holding an in-person Stampin' Up event. Thing number 5, and don't get away at the end because I've got a bonus thing. Thing number 5, make it easy for them to order. give them a catalogue each. You don't want people having to share catalogues, trying to see, oh, that's what you're having. Oh, I don't know whether I want to have that. Make sure they all have a catalogue in their hand. When I'm doing my catalogue tour, I encourage them to come on through the catalogue with me. I give them page numbers of what we're going to look at next. Let's go and look at this stamp set. Let's go and look at something for the guys. Let's go and look for, something else. So I actually take them through the catalogue. And here's another little tip. I always give some sticky tabs. This is really helpful because people can then tab their catalogue as they go along. Oh, yes, I like that. I want to come back to that. We all know when you first see the catalogue, it's so overwhelming. There's so many new toys. Where do you start? So by helping them to tab that catalogue when they come to fill in their order form, and you gave them those as well, didn't you? So they're going to have their order form, they're going to have their tabbed catalogue. Oh, and make sure they all have a pen. So make sure everybody has a pen. Again, we don't need to be sharing pens. It's not an expensive item to give away a pen with the catalogue, and they can then take that home and be marking up more in their catalogue and choosing the next thing to go onto their wish list. So make it easy for them to order, and obviously be there to answer questions. If you're holding a bigger event, you might like to do it with another demonstrator. I was lucky enough to have 2 helpers at my event. I had my lovely husband, Mike, who did all the sorting out teas and coffees, making sure everybody was happy, making sure everyone knew where they were going, and also taking some of the photographs and videos that I shared. And then I had my beautiful assistant, Tracy. She's not my beautiful assistant, she's one of my team and my very good friend. And she helped out with being another person who we could ask questions, and where can I find this in the catalogue, and how does this work? So yeah, if you're doing a bigger event, get some helpers. It really helps to have helpers. And I took them out for lunch afterwards to say thank you for all their very hard work. And finally, your bonus thing. One thing that makes my events effective is to have a limited time offer. Now, I had 2 things that were a limited time when they came along. The first was they could sign up for my next special class. So this is a fantastic fancy folds class. As I said, you can do this class too, but they could sign up there and then to do the class, and it was book today because I'm ordering tomorrow. So that was one limited time. Let's get you in and get you booked. So that's the first thing. But my best thing that I've been doing for many, many years is Liz's lovely launch loot. Now, when we have retired goodies from the catalogue that are no longer available, what do you do with them? Some people keep everything. Some people may sell them secondhand. For me, I give them away. I give them to my lovely ladies. They've already done their job within my business. I bought them, we used them in class, we enjoyed them, I loved them, and now I'm ready to let them go. And I let them go to my ladies when they buy on launch day. So at the launch party, they can choose from my lovely Liz's lovely launch loot. It's just, I do it like Celebration. There are various people, some people do a buy one get one free type offer. You get as much value as you spend. I keep it super simple with launch loot. If you spend £45 in my local currency, then you choose one launch loot item. If you spend 90, just like Celebration, you get 2 launch loot items, or you can choose a bundle, and there's no limit. So I do Liz's lovely launch loot, and that helps to encourage some sales on the day, which is always lovely. It's lovely to go home knowing that I've got some sales to put in on the first day, and knowing that my lovely ladies are very quickly going to get brand new goodies into their hands and be able to enjoy those. So that's some news, some ideas for how to do a launch. As I say, start small. I would no way have been able to run an event like the one I've just run when I first started. We learn as we grow and we get bigger, and each time it can be bigger. But if you've never done one before, as I say, kitchen table, make yourself 5 samples and invite someone round to come and do a bit of stamping with you. Include all of those things: gathering, share what you love, kits for newbies, hands-on, get them stamping, make it easy for them to order, and if you wish to, you can do your version of Liz's lovely launch loot. Thanks for visiting Ready Set Demo from Elizabeth's Craft Room today. If you are looking forward to learning more about this amazing Fancy Folds class that you can teach, I will be back very soon. If you're not already on my mailing list, make sure you're on my mailing list so that you don't miss out. Thanks for visiting Ready Set Demo from Elizabeth's Craft Room today. Bye.